What it do, man? Once again, it's James Borgato of Godlevelgenius. The subject of today's video, man, is what's it going to cost you? Every decision will cost you. In quite a few videos, I always talk about, man, that the worst thing that can happen, is like you lose your life or you go to jail, you lose your freedom, something get on your record with dealing with the wrong type of people. And all of this stuff boils down to the decisions you make. So many things, man, we take for granted and we downplay come down to decisions. That's why I believe in praying so much, man, and trying to get deeper into my prayer life and being more consistent and submitting myself to God with being in more control of, everything. And I'm intentional about addressing everything to him and leaving it in God's hands. Because something as simple as going outside, taking out the trash, or, going somewhere to meet somebody, like, it ain't a guarantee you gonna make it back safe. I mean, I made a video last year about when I was taking out the trash and my life was threatened. No, I don't think that was last year. I think that was this year. Yeah, that might have been this year when I made the video about I almost got attacked by the dog. You know what I'm saying? But thank God, my cousin truck was right there and I was able to hop on the back of it. And yeah, I probably would have died if the dog had got a hold of me. But just being aware of my surroundings, you know what I'm saying, and making a decision to always look around and keep my head on the swivel, saved my life, you know what I'm saying, on top of God, protecting me. And you got to think about that every time, man. You make a decision with just the simple things, but also it's important things that we have to make decisions about when it comes to our health, when it comes to the relationships we establish, when it comes to procreating and who we choose to plant seeds in, as far as like making this your spouse, or making this, your husband or your wife. Like, you gotta be real. You gotta have some critical thinking involved, because now you're continuing humanity. And if you're not making the right decision, you could be bringing more chaos into this world, because they're gonna be in an unhealthy environment because you're unstable. It's all about decision making. I'm trying to practice not even being involved in certain type of conversations nowadays, because I realize, man, the more I just like really listen, people don't even think about what they talk about. Most people want to talk about other people. They want to ask you like, well, what you think about this, or what you think about what they're going on. It's just like, how are we that wired to be concerned about others, instead of trying to build ourselves up to be a better version of ourselves? You dig what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not making a decision to be involved in these type of conversations anymore. I just don't say anything. I'm starting to make the decision to just be quiet. Looking back on life and thinking about growing up and seeing that kid that would have a hoodie on like I got on right now. It will always be a kid, in school. Everybody know that kid has a hoodie on and don't say nothing to nobody, or somewhere doodling in a notebook or something like that. Like, that's typically the smartest person, in the school, and the wisest, because a lot of things that kids are concerned about is foolishness, And true enough, we're adolescents and we're young and we're still exploring ourselves and trying to figure out who we are. But we wasted a lot of time talking about nothing. And that person didn't waste their breath, because they already knew, like, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's a decision I'm trying to make more, like, is as far as like when I'm amongst more people and being around people. I don't really even like to say much, because people waste a lot of time talking about nothing. And every decision we make, man, it's a domino effect to, our future. And you can always change your life around. It ain't never too late. People always think it's an age number and all this type of stuff, man, but you can stop time. It's just you have to be in alignment with God, and I feel like you have to have a clear um idea of what you want your life to be and what goals you would like to achieve. But a lot of people have made a lot of bad decisions because they're not even thinking things out. They just day by day just going through the motions of the same habits and the same type of paradigms that they haven't yet realized that need to be adjusted. And that's another thing. I learned that from Bob Proctor, listening to his teachings. It's all about the paradigms in our, and which shapes how we are. And that factors into the decisions we make, and that's something that you have to shift. And you gotta, we wasn't taught, properly in school about how to really use our brains and how to think. We were taught to, follow directions, and I think that's something that we have to be more proactive on, man, is shifting our paradigms and making better decisions, with what we consistently put in our minds and what we act out on. And I think that'll change a lot of things. Um, as many friends as I lost that I grew up with, a lot of that stuff came down to bad decisions. Like something as simple as one of my big homies, he told me recently like he not smoking weed anymore because he said he felt like he was becoming a slave to it and he felt like he couldn't do anything without it. And I was happy to hear that because it's like God blessed you with that talent, not the weed. So for him to finally realize that, you was able to do this work you were doing without weed, and somewhere down the line you was smoking weed so much, you starting to think like you need the weed to do what you do. And you smoke one wrong blunt because it's laced with fentanyl or, something it get tampered with, your whole life over. And that's what happened to one of my close friends that overdosed 2.5 years ago. His decision to just, do what he'd been doing his whole life. Oh, I'm gonna just, hit the blunt one time, and get ready to go on the brunch with my lady. It was laced with fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? But maybe if he finally stopped smoking weed, period, he wouldn't have never, got that bad batch from, whoever served him. It all comes down to decisions, man. The decisions we make on the daily, man, factor into what's our life gonna become and what's the reality. So each day, man, think things out and think about what are you doing to progress to what you want out your life, and think about what are you doing to make sure that your life is gonna be, gonna be more smooth sailing down the line. If you made this far to the video, I want to say thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the Godlevelgenius YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. I am James Vergato. And as always, be God level. The genius is in you. Godlevelgenius.